Hi there, welcome along to another workout for you to row along to. It's week 3, session 3 of the 500 meter plan, and today it's a top tier power session. Now what you're going to do is 1 minute of 20 strokes a minute, then 22, 24, 22 and 20. All of them with 1 minute rest in between. Apart from the last one, which you're going to take a 2 minute rest, and then you're going to do it all again, and basically you're going to do this all 4 times, okay? Now each of these intervals I want full power from your legs. You should be fine. We're on session 3 of this week of the plan, and although we've got a test planned for session 5, you will recover well enough for that, so don't worry about it. So I want full power from your legs, and I want you to try and follow me for the stroke rate, okay? So this is a good power session, and what I'll do when it comes to the main workout, the main session today, is I'll raise the back of the machine by 1 inch by putting a couple of weight plates underneath to just give myself a bit more of a power. If you want to do that, then fine, but make sure and put something stable on the back. I don't want your machine to flick off the back. So, as today is a power workout, we're going to do a 6-minute warm-up, and it's all going to be power-based. So let's start off by setting up our machine. Drag factor first, please set it to where you need it to be. If you don't know about drag factor, please check out the video I have on the YouTube channel. Now next up, go to your monitor and set it to eye height so you don't have to look up and you don't have to look down. And then finally, the foot strap should cover the bottom lace in your shoe, or if you're in socks like me, should just let you hinge comfortably forward at the front. So we're still going to start this warm up at 18 strokes a minute and run about 2k plus 22 pace, okay? So don't worry, and I'll guide you through what we're going to do, but it's a very simple one. So here we go then, in 3, 2, 1, go. So just ease into this warm up. And again, I really hope I warm up quick because it's freezing today. I do find I fluff my lines more when it's cold. It's like I'm chittering so much that I'm trying to get through it so fast that I end up fluffing my lines. So sorry about that. But hey, I'm not going to stop just because I say the wrong word. So this first minute is just about getting moving. Just make sure your body's warming up, your muscles are stretching off, your flexibility is improving. And then the next minute we'll think about technique. And then all we're going to do is 30 seconds worth of powerful strokes and then 30 seconds of 18 strokes a minute. But don't worry, I'll keep you right on when to start and stop. So here we go. Into this second minute, I want you to start to think a little bit about your body angles. Are you driving, connecting with the machine at the front? So push with your legs and try and snap into the flywheel at exactly the same time. So there shouldn't be a kind of a jolt to the machine as you start sliding and then connect to the flywheel. I want you to push through. Think about pushing the machine away with your legs. Right, so in 3 strokes, we're going to go up to 20 strokes a minute, and we're going to just push a little harder with our legs, okay? So try and go about 4 seconds faster than you are, or than you were at 18 strokes a minute. So just an extra shove from your legs. We're only going to do this another 4 times. 3, 2, 1. And back down to 18 strokes a minute. And a little bit slower. And then as we get to the 3 minutes to go on this warm-up, we're going to push a little bit harder, but still at 20 strokes. So I want you to maybe go about 2 seconds faster than you were the last time round. So here we go, 20 strokes a minute, a little bit faster. Let's get a little bit more power. out of your legs. So I'm now going 2 seconds faster than I was last time round. Make sure to connect properly at the front. Keep your arms straight. One more stroke. Back to 18s. So do keep your arms nice and straight as you power out from the front. Let that power come up through your body into the machine. Okay, 3 more strokes to go. Then I want you to try and go even faster at 20 strokes a minute. Here we go. A real push. Really slam those heels down. And get that power in. You should really hear the machine scream at you as you accelerate through. One more. Then back to 18s. So this should be warming up your cardio system and your muscles in quite a quick way, ready for the start of today's session. Okay, so in 3 more strokes, you guessed it, I want you to try and go even faster. 1 more stroke. So here we go, 20s, even faster. Just get those legs down. Keep your forward lean as you drive into the machine with relaxed arms. Don't fight the power. Let it come through. 1 more. And let's paddle home. Just keep moving. Make sure to connect, but don't worry too much about pace here. Now, of course, if you don't feel adequately warmed up, then keep on warming up. Maybe just as I carry on talking and explain one more time what today's session is, you can keep on doing some light rowing just to make sure you're nice and warm. Otherwise, have a quick drink, move up and down the rail, and just listen to me describe one more time what we're doing today. So the hoodie's off and the back of the machine is raised. We're ready for today's session. Now what we're going to do is a power pyramid. So there's going to be 1 minute of 20 strokes, then 22, 24, 22 and 20. They're all going to have 1 minute rest in between, apart from the last one, which is going to have a 2 minute rest, and then you're going to do it again and basically do it all 4 times over. Now if you're going to program your monitor to do this along with me, I really suggest going for 1 minute intervals with undefined rest in between. Set it for 20 intervals if you wish, but the whole point here is that we don't have to worry about keeping in sync with the RowAlong video and stuff. All that happens is at the 15-second to go point, you press the button to continue to the next interval and you're good to go. Now, this might skew your overall results when you come back and look at it afterwards, but to be honest, in this kind of session, this isn't something that you come back and analyze. It's something that you're doing and you're looking at the screen what you see your paces at the time. That's all that matters, is stroke by stroke that you're managing to put in full volume, okay? And then you can remember all that stuff afterwards, but for the time being, you don't have to worry about coming back and analysing it afterwards. Do this session as a non-row along, and yes, set it for it'll take ages to program into the monitor, but set it properly. But for the purposes of this, 1 minute on, undefined rests, 20 times, and we're all good to go, okay? So, said enough. Hopefully you're nice and warm if you've been continuing to row along with me there. Or row along while I was talking at you. So, here we go then. So our first one is at 20 strokes a minute, and I want maximum power from the legs, push from the legs, okay? So remember, this is a power from the legs workout. Here we go then. In 3, 2, 1, go. So power, and then it's only 1 every 3 seconds. So you should really manage to lay in that power. Keep your forward lean as you surge with the legs. And like I was saying in session 2, your arms take care of themselves. As long as you keep them straight at the drive, when it comes to the back of the stroke, your arms should follow nicely as you swing your back, and then finish nice and strong with your arms. 2 more strokes. 1 more. So you got 1 minute rest. For a power development, this is a fantastic workout. You'll eventually, as we go through the workout, find it'll take more of a toll on you from a cardio point of view, but it's not like session 1 this week. That was a complete cardio monster and left me wondering whether I had picked the right sport. So today's all about power. Make sure to rock up and down a little bit in between on these rest periods so you don't we're not going to seize up, but just to make sure you carry on moving. Right, so we're coming up to the next interval, so if you're on undefined rests, press your button to get primed and ready for the next one, which is starting in 10 seconds. Now remember, 22 strokes a minute, full power. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That first stroke is very heavy, so if you find that it's taking a bit of a toll on your lower back, then maybe you can roll into the interval instead of starting from a dead stop. Keep on putting full power into this. Concentrate on pushing the machine away. Almost there. 4 strokes. 3, 2, 1. So, as we go through this first set of them, it should become more and more apparent how it's about power and about holding that power and trying to not let fatigue set in and slow you down. So as we go faster, like for the 24 next, you start to kind of break into the feeling of leg power and stroke rate being what gives you the pace when you want to row fast. Admittedly, you'll be doing your 500 meter test a lot faster stroke rate than 24, but you'll get what I mean. Okay, 15 seconds to go, so if you're on undefined rest, then please press your button. Ready for the 24 stroke a minute interval, which is coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So 1 stroke every 2.5 seconds. Keep those arms nice and relaxed at the front of the machine. Don't fight against it by bending your elbows too early. Keep them straight until you're almost done with the stroke. And only at the back of the stroke, here, do you finally bend your elbows and push in. Sorry, pull in. How do you push in? Almost there. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's just at the top of the pyramid. Got 2 more to come back down. Now, again, from a cardio point, by the time we get to the end of this pyramid, you might start to think, why have I got 2 minutes rest in between the two 20 strokes? And it's really just so you don't end up overtaxing your cardio system. We've already had our workout this week that overtaxes it, and I don't want to take too much fuel out of your tank so that in 2 days or whatever time, when you do your mid-plan test, you're halfway to exhausted. Right, 15 seconds to go. Press your button for undefined rests as we get ready for interval 4 in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now remember, this is 22s. Still full power from your legs, and concentrate on getting that power from your leg drive, but then also from the posture, allowing that power to flow through your body. It's easy to slump in the search for more pace, thinking that over-leaning at the front will make you faster, whereas it won't. 2 more. 1 more. The difference between the powerful posture and letting the power flow, or being slumped and kind of fighting against it through your trunk, can mean the difference between a couple of seconds. So really try and hit that up on your sit bones, powerful posture at the front, so that as you come in, you're ready to drive back. You can kind of hold it a good kind of half slide at least before then finishing the stroke. Whereas if you're slumped over, you're like, what's going on? I'm in a kaleidoscope, man. Okay, 15 seconds to go. Press the button to continue to the next interval, which starts in 10 seconds. Remember, 20 strokes a minute, full power, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, good thing about 20s is because it's so slow, from a stroke rate point of view, it really does give you the time to set yourself up perfectly for each stroke. So you drive, handle away, body rock, slide. Handle, back, slide. So you're not causing technique leaks because you're rushing so much. It's all about the power. 3, 2, 1. Now it looked like my average for the 20s is pretty much my 2K plus 5 seconds. We'll see how I improve. But there we go, 2-minute rest. Take this moment to just have a quick drink. Just move a little bit on the rail, just to make sure you don't seize or cramp or anything else. So how did I finish? Heart rate was up at 80%, so it's getting up there. It's kind of, from a heart rate point, from that finishing calculation, it's kind of in the dangerous mid zone, but as we were doing a power workout with the legs rather than a cardio one, and we're recovering all the time, I'm not too worried about that. This isn't a danger zone mid heart rate kind of workout. I'm comfortable with what's going on because it's all about power. Now remember, if you start to find that this is getting a bit too tough for you, and like me, you've got the back of the machine raised, then instead of backing off the power, just put your machine back down at the back and then go back to how you'd normally be rowing. This is the whole raising the machine by 1 inch is just there to give me a little bit more of a leg workout without having to raise the drag factor. I'd much rather have gravity than be fighting against the flywheel and suddenly have to adjust my stroke because it's heavier than I expect. Although my seat keeps moving. For such an expensive seat pad, I wish it'd stay in place. Right, press your button to get ready for the next interval. So we're starting the pyramid again in 8 seconds. So 20 strokes a minute, full power in 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now again, the great thing about these 20s is it lets you make sure you're taking the full slide. So you get forward enough that your shins are at vertical, and then you can take the full whack out from the front, pushing the machine away from you. What you sometimes see as people get higher on the stroke rate is that they take a shorter and shorter slide. So they're trading stroke rate for leg drive. 3, 2, last one. See, I'm hanging right off. Hang on. Get back. There we go. Maybe my seat pad is objecting to the fact it's clashing with my shorts. It's making a break for it. Shush, my trusty Van Halen shorts. Don't want any arguments from a usurper seat pad. I do like the seat pad. I don't know whether it's Stockholm syndrome, but I certainly don't like rowing without it anymore. It feels way too uncomfortable. So as much as I don't wear shoes and take them when I travel places, I'm gonna have to start taking a seat pad with me now. 15 seconds to go, get ready to go up to the 22 strokes a minute level of this pyramid, which is starting in 8 seconds. So press your button if you haven't already. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Power from the legs, remember. And then you should feel your body and your arms responding against that power and laying it into the machine. If you're feeling it in all the wrong places, make sure you're connecting with the flywheel at the front of the machine as you drive, but also that you're not bending your arms too early or swinging your back too soon. 2 more, I hope. Room for 1 more. Room for 1 more. Yeah, stop it. I'm going to assume it's because my power is so incredible that this is why it's moving. I'm hoping what it is that as I connect at the front and push with that forward lean, because the angle the power's at, my butt is lighter on the seat, kind of slightly up, not enough that I take off, but slightly lighter, and then maybe an unevenness of my leg drive is kind of rotating the seat pad, who knows. 15 seconds to go, press your button to continue to the next interval, which is in 9 seconds time, and remember it's 24 strokes a minute, full power. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So try and keep your fingers nice and relaxed, like hooks over the handle. It's easy on a power session like this to think you have to choke the life out of the handle in order to get all the power in. Whereas, as far as your arms are concerned, as you start the drive, the more relaxed they are, the more power goes in. 2 strokes. 1 more. Remember, if you didn't make it all the way to the end of session 2, you'll have missed my incredible zombie impression, where basically the front of the stroke, zombie, you know how you do a zombie impression with loose shoulders and floppy arms? I'm a zombie. That's what you want to be like at the front, okay? You want to be at the front like a zombie, maybe with slightly more active hands, but your shoulders and arms need to be a zombie as you start the stroke, and then finish nice and strong, like a zombie killer. Press your button to continue to the next interval. We're back down to 22 strokes a minute in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So remember, nice and relaxed, like a zombie at the front. And then, as you connect with your feet pushing through the machine, that's when everything doesn't tense, but everything engages. So I'm still not tense and grabbing with my arms. The only time I ever feel my arms properly engage is here, right at the back of the stroke, then back out into a zombie. Feel that blue flame surge through your body. 3, 2, last one, 1. Nice and relaxed. Should be able to feel your triceps wobble as you're at the front. You always, it's the best fashion for zombies nowadays is bingo wings. Zombies all go, you wouldn't be seen dead to not have, oh actually, hang on, you're a zombie, you are dead. Oh, there goes another analogy. Can't even use zombies anymore. Sorry, we're supposed to be, come on, army strong here, aren't we? Can't be laughing, there's no room for morale. Right, press the button to continue to the next last interval of this set, which is happening in 7 seconds time. Remember, 20 strokes a minute. In 3, 2, 1, go. So 1 stroke every 3 seconds. Use the time to set yourself up for the start of the next stroke. So a powerful, fast leg drive back with your back swing, and you're finished with your arms, but then arms away, body rock forward and slide. Can be nice and relaxed to set yourself up beautifully for the next stroke. Okay, 3, 2, 1. There we go. So that's us halfway there. Well, depends how you count rest. halfway there in terms of effort. I was up at 160 beats a minute, heart rate wise, so yeah, 86% versus 80% of max for the last one. So you can tell, or for me anyway, the cardiac drift of this effort is definitely in there. I wonder if I'll be at 90% for the next one. But yeah, so like just to kind of seal off the whole thing of the slower 20 strokes a minute, is that having that time to set yourself up nicely, making sure you're taking the full length of your stroke and stuff. It's the point of doing this on when we are doing like a half hour at 20 strokes a minute. It's to grind in this as your natural stroke, so that no matter what stroke rate you're doing, your brain is always thinking, well, I need to get in for the full stroke and I need to blah, 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 rather than your brain going, well, I've not done anywhere near enough of this. I don't know what to do. And then just deciding it's going to play baseball instead of rowing or whatever. You get what I mean? So by grinding out these low stroke rate sessions in the rest of the plan, you're teaching your body how to row properly. You're refining your fuel system. You're making sure that everything's firing on tip-top condition, and it's really easy to access that fuel. See, even in a session like this, I'm trying to sell the benefits of the bottom tier ones. Right, 15 seconds to go. Press your button to continue to the next interval. Get yourself primed and ready. Remember your posture and everything. We're going in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Get that solid push out with your legs. Get that slide forwards so your shins are at vertical, or as close to it as you can, and then drive out at the front. Keep that forward lean as you push the machine away. Get those heels down into the foot plates and push the machine away from you. Try and get it into next door. I'll try and push the machine into the noisy neighbours that live across my fence. Be quiet, noisy neighbours. Push. Hear the machine scream at you. Push. One more stroke. 1 minute rest. Now I do try to not be like a spin bike instructor or something and spend the whole time yelling at you to go harder and faster, because I wouldn't appreciate that. What I want is someone to give me tips. Motivation, yes. Focus, certainly. The odd joke, if you consider my jokes, then yes. But what I don't need is someone to go, come on man, you can do it, you've got this, you've got it to the end, come on, push harder, push harder. Fair enough, for the last 100 meters of a race, I need that, but not in a training session. Right, 15 seconds to go. We're up to 22 strokes a minute again. In 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 22 strokes. Full power from your legs. Keep those arms and shoulders relaxed. With a nice open palm. Fingers like hooks. Thumbs underneath the handle. With a braced posture at the front, sitting your sit bones and letting that power surge up through your body, through your arms, into the handle, and then finally into the flywheel to make you go faster. One more stroke. Good job. Of course, if I were to just shout at you and try and motivate you that way, I'd probably be less repetitive. Although would I? I'd end up just kind of saying, come on, go faster, come on. And I don't know what you're doing. You could be going absolute flat out. And you go back and forth and I'm screaming, go faster, you can do it. And you're on your machine going, I can't go any faster. So I wouldn't do that to you. No, no, no. You know how fast you're going. I'm just telling you how to get your body right, what to think about in order to go faster if you so deem it necessary. 15 seconds to go, press your continue to next interval. Don't press the mute button. We're going in 7 seconds. Remember, this is the 24 strokes a minute interval. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You are allowed to make grunting noises and things though. It's almost expected if you're putting in all the effort you can from your legs. Now it'll feel like a different kind of power up at these 24 strokes a minute intervals because the flywheel isn't getting as much time to slow down in between each stroke. 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh. That's one of the reasons why higher stroke rates. Wait, I am rowing. I've already told you once. Why higher stroke rates make you go faster, because there's less time for the flywheel to slow down, and therefore as you get in for the next stroke, you're topping it off and re-accelerating it to a potentially faster amount. Whereas on the lower stroke rates, it's got more time to slow down, so you're putting in the effort just to get it back up to speed again. There we go. A little bit of a lesson. 15 seconds to go as we get ready to go back down to 22 strokes a minute. In 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. But as we come back down this side of the pyramid, we're not only picking up treasure as we go, we're also able to be a bit more relaxed and focus on making sure that our arms are relaxed. We're not over leaning at the front. We're not yanking ourselves back up the rail by flicking on the foot straps. We're just laying in as much power as possible. 3, 2, last one, 1. In fact, I'm going to try something potentially humorous. For this one, you don't have to follow me, but I'm taking my feet, only for this one, out of the foot straps is proof that even at full power, if you get your stroke rhythm and kind of transition from face to face correct, you don't need to be in the straps and you don't need to stop yourself at the back or pull yourself forwards by using your feet in the straps. Famous last words as I fly off the back. Right, press your button to continue to the next interval, which is starting in 9 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 20 strokes a minute, remember. Full power. Now, I'm not flown off the back yet. And don't worry, it's not TV magic, I am unstrapped. The key here being getting all of the leg drive done. It's all in the machine. There's no leg drive that I have to fight against with the foot straps. 3, 2, 1. Now, if you've never rowed with your feet out the straps before, this is not the session to try it on. But when you do eventually try it, instead of taking your feet completely out, put your feet in, grab onto the sides, put your thumbs on the buckle, pull your thumbs out, keep them out, flick up your feet, okay? And that'll give you about 1.5 inches distance. What that means is if you go back and you're thinking about fly off the back, you can then flick up your feet and catch yourself. But for all intents and purposes, you're rowing strapless. But at the last minute you can go, ah! Good tip, because I don't want to hear of anyone falling off the back. But it is all about control. So you drive, swing, legs are done, arms are in. And because legs are done, you don't have that whoosh to the back of the machine, which is what most people then have to fight against, because they're kind of coming to it there. Then they finish and they're like, oh, what do I do now? So they flick themselves with their feet to pull themselves, to stop them from kind of wrenching themselves. But then that pull with the feet ends up tucking the butt under. And the difference at the front of the machine, taking the stroke with your butt tucked under yourself, your hips rolled backwards, or up on your sit bones, the difference of power transfer is incredible. Right, 15 seconds to go until we start this last set. In 10 seconds, remember we start off at 20 strokes per minute. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now hopefully, the 2 minutes rest is always enough for your heart rate to calm down, for your muscles to recover, so that you can put full whack back into the machine again, and also gives you a moment to recover mentally and focus on your stroke technique. So it's easy for fatigue to derail your technique. 2, last stroke on up. I know as I get more tired, especially in this setup with the backup, I start to fight with my back lean a little bit too early, especially on those 20s. 22 and 24, hopefully, because they're slightly faster stroke rates. I won't, but then hope never really gets a payoff most of the time, so it's not to downplay hope. Hope's exceptionally important, but I know in this instance it's unlikely. Right, in 15 seconds, so press your continue to next interval button, because we're going in 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right, so 22s. Concentrate on maintaining that forward lean. That was mostly for me, but it's equally as important for you to hold that forward lean as you start the power laying into the machine. Once you've got the peak of that power, then you can start your backswing and then finish with your arms. 3 more strokes. 3, 2, last one. 1. Come on, seat pad. The blurb for the seat pad says that after about 100k it should stay in place. I think I've done about 400k now, if not more, since I got this. Excuse me. It's still sliding. Admittedly, it doesn't usually slide. It's only moving because I'm going full throttle, so. Excuse me again. Oh, I hope I come back in and edit out these coughs. Otherwise, that'll be very annoying for you. 15 seconds to go. Press your button to continue to the next interval, which is 24 strokes a minute. Full power from the legs in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. I just wish I could keep this up at this pace and stroke rate, doing it half-hour time trial, because it feels so comfortable at 24. I know after 10 minutes of rowing at my 2k pace at 24 strokes, I'd be toast. All from the legs, come on. Keep your forward lean, but don't over lean. 2 more. 1 more. Keep your lean, but don't over lean. But lean, unless you can't lean. Just try and all the other things you're thinking about, do still think about just going to 1 o'clock, then rocking back to around about 11 o'clock. I find on these power sessions I probably go a little bit further back just to take care of the extra power. Hey, I mean from the stroke, not my power. But I certainly don't want you straight at the back, lying flat out. Press your button to continue to the next interval, which is the last of our 22s. Woohoo! 2 more to go. In 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go! Definitely the start of these, that first stroke, my legs are asking what I'm doing, but then they submit and allow me to lay in the power after 2 or 3 strokes. Do keep thinking about how far forward you slide, keeping straight arms, finishing strong at the back rather than pulling in too early. 2 more. 1 more. Yeah, 91% of my max heart rate now. So this is kind of right up there in the top tier point now, and shows that each interval I am working at top tier, but because it's only 1 minute, my heart rate takes a while to catch up to that. So now that we're here, it proves it, I think. It proves something, but it proves I know nothing. Here we go. Last one, press your button to continue to the last interval, which is another 20 strokes a minute. So just 20 strokes at full power in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And if you've got a mirror, try and focus on what your arms look like as you connect, okay? Look at whether your shoulders are lifting or hunching or grabbing. Look at whether your arms remain straight. Look at the point when everything engages, and try to visualize whether that's when your legs are pushing, or if you've got a butt scoot. 2 more strokes. That's a hard one. There we go. So that's today's power workout, all sorted. That should just top up your power tank. If you have like a power tank and a main fuel tank, this is your turbocharger. No, okay. Let's not go there. So let's go into a 2-minute cool down in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, well, I should probably have taken the weights away from the back of the machine before this, but that's fine. So hopefully the power you'll have developed there will not only help you with the power you need to put into the machine during the meat of your 500 meter row, but because you just did 20 starts, unless you're doing rolling starts of course, but let's not mention them. You did 20 starts. It means that first stroke you take of your 500 meter test, you've just done 20 of them basically, and have hopefully built that initial pushing power to be a little bit stronger, so that as you start the 500 you can get up to pace as quick as possible. Because especially on a 500, that initial time to go from 0 to whatever your cruising pace is, that can be the difference between, well, a whole second sometimes. Anyway, so session 4 is pretty much back to a bottom tier. There's a tiny little spice in it just to make sure your engine knows it's going to be doing some sprinting, but session 4 is mostly back to the energy refining, fuel building, engine boring, let's not say boring, engine row, where you get a chance to work on your technique and things. Now, at the end of session 2, when I was discussing hashtags, I obviously said the wrong one. I was saying posture, but then having done my incredible zombie impression, the hashtag should have been zombie. So today it's hashtag zombie. So unless you can spell. So there we go. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed session 3. It was more of a power one. It's not one that left you on the floor with cardio busting, but your legs should have felt tapped out by the end. If not, go do some squats. No. We set up for session 4 to have a nice bottom tier, and then session 5 is the mid-plan test. So regardless of whether you're racing at the Scottish Championships on Saturday or whatever, I want you to get prepared for a 500 meter row on session 5, okay? So, thank you very much for coming and watching the videos or listening to the podcast. Please do be sure to subscribe. On YouTube, press the little bell as well so you get the notification that I've uploaded a new video. On podcasts, I think all you can do is click subscribe and just keep an eye on your feed to see when I put one up. And that's it. So, and then if you want to, leave a comment, leave a review. Hey, let me know that you enjoy it or whatever. It's always nice to hear from you. And yeah, and as more and more people are watching the videos, I'm spending more and more time replying to you all, but hey, I'm loving it, it's great. Yeah, I'll sleep when I do need sleep. I'll just reply to you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for coming and rowing along with me on this one. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day, be well, goodbye.